What's up guys, my name is Jesse and this is 504 Gaming, and today we're going to be playing The Sinking City. This video is going to be a how to play on basically using the mechanics of The Sinking City. So I'm not going to waste any of your time, I'm going to just get started, so let's get right into the content, okay? So the first thing we want to look at is a brief overview of all the different things that we have. So I hit the right button on the control pad, not the sticks, the right button on the control pad. And the reason I'm showing you this one first because it gives us a really good overview of the things that we're going to be going through and looking at how to use. So we've got casebook, evidence, map, mind's eye, follow the omens, retrocognition, mind palace, archives, padlocks, combat, and diving. So I know that might have been really quick, but if you want to read each tab by itself and get everything that you can, pause the video and read through each tab. But I'm going to go over these tabs real quick in the screens menu. Okay, so as you can see, we have Mind Palace, Casebook, Lore, Skills, Map, Inventory, and Options. Obviously, the Options tab is the normal stuff. The Load Game, Save Game, Settings, How to Play, Main Menu, and then the different buttons on how to use. The reason why this content was valuable to me specifically, and I'm hoping you can get value out of it, is because I actually had to look at some of these screens in order to figure out how to play the game. Because some of the buttons don't make sense, and I'll show you why in a second, but we'll take this backwards, basically from smallest to greatest amount of content. Here in the inventory screen, you have your weapons, explosives and traps, miscellaneous, and crafting. So going through these different screens, I'm still in the beginning of the game right now, but it's a very simple crafting system. So you've got the pistol and then you've got the revolver. Again, if you want to read through all of the details of each individual section, pause it as I'm on it. But right now we're going to look at the pistol and the revolver. It's very simple to craft these items. You can see the different caliber, the 38 and the 44 to 40 caliber. So the intent is not to go into specific detail about each weapon, each piece of item you can craft, but if you look at the bottom right hand corner where it says quantity, it's very simple to craft. Once you gain the materials, you just hit the button, click that scroll to that specific item and hit the craft button, and as you can see, now I have more bullets for the pistol, more bullets for the revolver, and I actually like this one because it tends to knock the enemies down the fastest. Okay, same thing with traps, same thing with your medical items, right? Okay, and if you look at the bottom, you see the crafting materials. Obviously that tells you how many of what material you have. Okay, something I want to point out about the materials, it's kind of scarce for the different materials in this game. So something that I found out is you can go back and forth to certain areas that you've already visited. I've noticed if you're on the same mission, you can revisit certain places before you complete an investigation and get materials over and over again if you spent a few minutes away from that section. So again, if you're needing, let's say, a first aid kit, or you need the clicked out of it, or you need the antipsychotics, you can revisit certain areas that you might have already cleared to continue to gather supplies from it if needed. That's something I found out the hard way. Bullets and gunpowder, alcohol especially, is something that's really scarce. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the map. When you get this game, or if you have this game already, take some time to look at the map, because the icon, there's a lot of icons here. So if I click the place marker button, which is X for us on PlayStation, you see the different what do you call them? You see the different icons at the bottom. So you've got a whole lot of them. Take the time to actually look at those and see what icons are meant for what. So say if I want to click on here, right? I'll go edit, click up, and it'll allow me to click up. Hold on. Focus on player is L3. So you place marker, and it's going to ask you which marker you want to place. So once you click on that specific location, you have the different symbols that you want to click on. I'll run through these real quick, but again, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on them. I don't want to waste your time today. But you've got danger, mystery, treasure, blocked passage, the key to the second floor, EOD is banned, the poisoner and the university, the events in the fish storage, the guard's testimony, Anna's request, police report, the fate of the expedition, and Throgmorton's task. Now these are specific to missions, but I just wanted to show you a little bit how these work. So say for example, if I'm working on Throgmorton's task, I'd scroll to it with the right stick and click on it. Now I'm gonna edit this one because that's not specific to my game, but yeah. So you see these little stars here? Just moving on to the next point. These are your fast travel locations. I'll click out of this real quick. It looks like these little phone booths. Now you'll obviously figure this out in the game, but I wanted to show you guys what they look like. This is something that didn't make sense to me at first. So when you go to a fast travel location, for example, you click on the map here, and then when you go to another fast travel location, see at the bottom where it says hold to fast travel? You have to be at one of these little phone booths to do it. So you hold, you see how it's going around? I'm not going to do it all the way because it takes a second through the loading screen, and that's going to make the video that much longer. But yeah, that's a general overview of the map. Take some time to look at the different symbols and see what they mean and how to use them in different locations. So if you see these little icons, the green ones here, they're green because you see at the bottom it says EOD fish storage, all evidence collected. It shows you that once you have all evidence. Otherwise it'll be white or yellow if you have the key evidence collected. Okay, so take some time getting your map, and that way you'll be able to better navigate. There is no them guiding you to it. It's all street names. You have to know, or you have to look at the section of the map through the clues of what street names you're going to. Okay, so let's move on to skills. Now me personally, I'm an experienced guy, so right out the gate I want to max out how to gather as much experience as I can. So I'm maxing this out before I do anything else, which I did. See, so you've got, let me scroll back to the beginning. So in your skills you have combat proficiency, vigor, and mind. Now it's completely up to you how you decide to do your loadout. Me personally, I like to focus on getting as much experience as fast as possible, and then I'll start working on the other skills. Like, so my strategy is building my experience, and then my health, and then my combat skills, which might be backwards for some of you guys, but that's just personally how I like to play my game. But the skills work in the little point sequences. You see at the left where it says experience gained every 1,000 points, and then you get knowledge points. So what I'll do right now is, in this game I've already maxed out my experience. So here, you know, there's a insane mechanic here where you lose sanity. So I'm not really focused on fixing my sanity. Radiant Mind actually helps you stay sane longer, but I'm worried about experience and functionality. So the next thing I'll tell you guys I was going to do is vigor, right? So your vitality increases by your vitality increases, and on here it says plus 15%. So you see my knowledge point is gone. I just added it on there. It's that simple for that. Right? So lore is very simple. As you find documents and as you hear stories from different people, you see how it says note from Professor Westbrook, letter from the morgue, a crumpled letter. This is just stuff that happens throughout the story. You know, you get your different documents, bestiary explaining the different things that you found, and this is a collection of all those things. So if you want to look back on some stuff that you're confused about, you want to understand something from the story, you just go back here, you can reread a lot of that stuff. And then casebook. Now this is one of the most interesting mechanics. This and Mind Palace for me are the two most interesting mechanics, because in the casebook it organizes all your cases. You see how you got your main case, your side cases, and then it outlines your completed cases. So right now we're on quid pro quo, and you see how it had that little icon over it? Well, that's just because it was new to the thing, but it's really interesting because you take, for example, you get a character who gives you a key. You have a key to the second floor of whatever building you're going to. Then they give you like the different things that's going on in that specific thing, and you have to find these clues in order to move forward in the story. In your casebook is where all of this stuff is kept. Be sure to read this stuff. A lot of games you can get through by just, okay, the next step is this, and it'll point it out on the map. No, you got to understand a lot of the stuff in the sinking city, which I personally appreciate about the game. So let me see if I can find one of the, okay, great. So I'm gonna go on one of these side quests and show you in the letter from Oakmont. You see how you got the letter? It's like a piece of paper, and then in the top right hand corner of that picture it has like a little symbol. Well, as I showed you earlier, here in casebook. You see at the bottom where it says some pieces of evidence have icons that hint at what actions to perform. In that one that we just saw, you see the casebook has that little, let's say, star or bright star icon in the top right hand corner. Inside casebook, that star means you have to search that location. So see at the bottom it has dialogue, use items, use item, take a photo, search archives, search location. That's what that's for. So that's what those different symbols mean. So anytime you have a case like this one has the star, this one has the star, so those two are search location. This one, it says finding the third book. Angles of the Mind. The book was loaned for personal reading. Address lost. Benjamin Miller, clerk in the bank of Oakmont, lives somewhere in Advent. So that tells me that I would have to look in probably Oakmont City Hall, because Oakmont City Hall has the records on all of the residents and stuff like that. Now, had it have been a crime, then I would have to go to the Oakmont police station, because they have all the information on that. So it's a pretty cool mechanic there. Alright, so moving on to Mind Palace. Bar none, this is my favorite #1 aspect of this game. As you see, I've collected different clues. See at the bottom where it says select deductions and back. Well, once you gather clues, so for example, I'm on this current mission, and I'm trying not to give away too many spoilers. It says a secret chamber in the warehouse. The guard is afraid of Anna. The EOD ranks are swelling. George Cavendish made a spare key, and Westbrook has access to the poison. So what happens is you go through these and you see at the bottom where it's changing a secret, Westbrook has access. It tells you I found what seems to be some sort of holding pen or possibly even a torture chamber in EOD warehouse. Well, it tells you the story of those specific clues so that you can have more information and put it together. So let's go. The guard is afraid of Anna. So the guard and the secret chamber in the warehouse are a part of the same little section that I was investigating. So let's go. The guard is afraid of Anna. So you see how that turned red? You can't pin that together. So let's see if it'll go the other way. Nope. So those two don't go together. So a secret chamber in the warehouse. And then Westbrook has access to poison. So that's not it. It turned red. Okay, let's go. Westbrook has access to poison. And then the guard is afraid of Anna. Nope. So as you get them wrong, it just won't let you go back. EOD ranks are swelling. George Cavendish made a spare key. Nope. Spare key. Westbrook. Okay. So the poison thief, George Cavendish, a professor of Oakmont University, is the poison thief. He made himself a copy of the key to the poison locker. According to the student, he lives somewhere in Advent. Okay. So those two pieces of evidence you had to combine to get this one, and it helps you move forward in the story. So I'm clicking deductions here, and you see these highlighted too. These are all deductions that I've pieced together. So at the bottom it says read and clues and back. So I'm gonna go back to clues. Alright, so these, none of these go together, so they're not gonna allow you to do that. I purposely didn't go to a part where it would solve a mission for us, because I don't want to give that much of the game away, but that's how that mechanic works. Alright guys, so I know that wasn't a very long video, but I just wanted to show you guys the mechanics of the game real quick. What I'll run through real quick now is his different not skills, but his inventory as he's out in the world. So if you hold L1, you can see the different things. Like these are the things we crafted, right? Not the camera, but you find these different things in the world and the material for them. Now I don't really like the combat mechanic in this game. It's clumsy, it's hard to aim. The melee attack is silly because you come all the way across the body and you would think you're hitting what's right in front of you, but no, if you're aiming here, you're gonna hit here. So you aim here, you're gonna hit here when you're doing melee. And then the aim assist or the reticle is really wacky. You've got creatures who move really weird, so you got to play with the sensitivity a little bit. But you aim here, if you're really close up on them, you hit them. But if you're like trying to aim across the street, that thing moves a little bit and you've got to really be dialed in trying to hit them. But Thank you guys for watching. If you're here, consider subscribing. Again, we're playing The Sinking City, and I just wanted to do this video real quick to show you guys the different game mechanics in The Sinking City. I personally appreciate the Mind Palace and the Casebook because it gives you that investigating experience really well. So I hope you guys appreciate this game. Comment below if you like this video and tell me what your favorite mechanic of the game is, or something that you have questions about, and I'll do my best to help you out. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.